Hi, my name is Shy or Shy, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This channel is somewhere I typically discuss various topics and occasionally do vlogs. Today I will be going through a vlog, which is a representation of the most recent snow day that I experienced solo snowed in. Just going through house chores and just the basic things that I had to do that day. I think this would be a good video to have playing in the background if you are also doing some house chores or you're just looking for background noise. The first thing you will see me do is try to tackle the snow unsuccessfully because after I made my cup of tea and I took my time to go through my morning rituals, which I've covered in other videos, I eventually made my way outside, which would be the next scene, and tried to clear the snow, but realized I may have waited a little too long because the snow happened the day prior to me recording this. And it was no longer snow, it was essentially a sheet of ice. So I did what most people I think do in that scenario, which is you pour some melting salts down and you just hope for the best. So you're watching me do that in this scene. Enjoy. After my unsuccessful attempt at clearing the snow, I basically pivoted to doing indoor chores that I've been procrastinating on. So one being in the next scene where I am attempting to put up a canvas. And this is one of those hobbies that I recently picked up as part of, stirring my creative juices and just allowing myself to play. I will go buy these inexpensive textured canvases from multiple stores. There's a ton of them. They sell them. They're usually beige colored or off-white and they just have texture. For some reason I like painting on texture, and I just paint whatever's on my mind. They're not the most artistic thing. I'm sure they won't be defined as art by professionally trained artists, but it's a form of outlet for me. Sometimes they have words, sometimes they're just figures, sometimes, in this case, what I'm about to hang spoke a lot to a lot of my journey last year with healing, and still ongoing because you never fully heal. So I wanted to have it visually somewhere that I saw every time I was working or I was in a space where I do creative stuff, which is my office. But I've been putting it off, putting it up on the wall. So since I was trapped indoors and I can't go anywhere because I can't clear the snow, I decided to do that. And honestly, it took me a few minutes. I mean, you see me use it's kind of messed up. I have a leveler, but rather than use a leveler, I opted to use an unopened IKEA frame as my leveler. So it's not the straightest hanging in the world, but the point is it went up on the wall. And that got done. And then the other thing I had to do in the office, you'll see in the next scene, is edit videos. I recently published a video talking about my perspective on doing YouTube as a hobby and what it has taught me. That's the video that you basically will see me the next scene trying to edit. But part of the whole process of YouTube, and I've gone on and on about it in other videos, is it is time consuming. It is time consuming, not just editing, but the whole behind the scenes stuff that you have to do, even the uploading process and uploading onto YouTube and the forms you got to fill, etc. I think, if anyone out there, like I said in that video, if you're considering doing it, and I highly recommend it, again, if you're someone who you get fulfillment out of learning, you get fulfillment out of playing in new spaces that aren't familiar with you. That's what this does for me. So that's why I continue to do it. But just keep in mind that it does take a lot of time. There are multiple steps. There is no one handbook. There are videos you can watch that can essentially help you maybe shorten the path. But I often find that a lot of those videos, they give you crumbs and then they want you to pay for the real thing. So, I mean, by the time you do that, if you just play around yourself, try once, try twice, make mistakes. Again, if you're not trying to be a YouTube star, this is for the people who want to do it as a hobby, people who have seen it and are curious about the technicalities behind it, or you just want to try. You just want to see if you're capable of doing it. I think just keep in mind that you're going to make mistakes. You're going to miss stuff. You're going to relearn stuff. You're going to stumble upon stuff, and it's perfectly okay. There's no grading score here. So that's, again, what you will see me doing is trying to upload a video on YouTube. And on this particular day, I think because we were all snowed in, there were a lot of technical stuff going on, not just on YouTube, but on the editing software that I use, which was CapCut. I found that I was just getting stuck and stumbled upon things. And then I heard someone say something about TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, so I can't speak to that, but I heard TikTok too was having issues on the recent snowstorm that we had. So yeah, that whole ramble was to say, I used this time to try to do the things that I had been procrastinating on. Some I was successful with, some I was not in the case of YouTube, because things just kept freezing on me. So then I had to pivot to something else, which you'll see in the next scene. Now, this last scene is the last chore that I did on my day snowed in. This is a ridiculous thing that I've procrastinated on. So basically, this is a bathroom I have in my home, and I had decided to wallpaper a particular wall on it because this wallpaper is the same wallpaper I'd used for the backsplash in my kitchen, and I had leftover wallpaper. So I figured, let me do an accent wall in the bathroom. And I thought the bathroom would be good because you can see that's where I hang a lot of my towels and robes. So the idea visually, to me, what it represents, it's almost like I am hanging those things on branches of a tree because there are branches on this wallpaper. And then it kind of goes with the elephant print that's hanging up there because, nature. So I thought that would work perfectly for one wall. I considered doing the whole bathroom, but I thought that would be a bit much. So I just wanted to do one wall. However, what happens with me, I get these creative bursts and ideas, and I run through and I execute, but I don't finish. So it's absolutely ridiculous that you see that small portion of wall that has been waiting for me for longer than I care to admit to finish. So I told myself this day, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're stormed in, you don't leave the house. You will finish this small piece of wall that you have just left. And every time I go in that bathroom, I'm irritated at myself that it would take you minutes to do this. And you see, I don't do this perfectly. I don't measure with the ruler. I just kind of eyeball. My lines are not going to be straight. But thankfully, this is a patterned wallpaper. What I've learned with wallpaper is, like, if you have patterns like this, you can kind of mask things. So it doesn't have to be perfect. But my goal here was just to finish. So this is the last thing I did, and you will watch kind of end this video, is me wallpaper this one wall that has been staring me down for quite a while. And I just want to say, thank you for getting this far in the video. Thanks for watching. I hope your snow day was somewhat productive, or just your overall day is somewhat productive, and you are safe and staying warm in this winter climate if you get winter where you are. All right, we'll see what the next one brings. Thank you.